Looks like Dries Mertens is not going to be signing for us. He signed a contract extension with Napoli, so there goes that opportunity to have him for next season. So what does it mean for us? Who can we look into next season? Stay tuned for the full video. If you've enjoyed the video at the end of it, hit the like button, hit the bell notification to stay up to date with all my recent content. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hi guys, welcome to the other side of the coin. Dries Mertens is a particular player that's been linked with us for a little while now. There's been plenty of rumours. Frank Lampard fancied this player as per some of these rumours and links. And yeah, when the transfer ban was over in January, he was one of the players that I believe we were truly going after to replace Olivier Giroud and give backup to Tammy. But in the last 24 hours, it's been confirmed that Dries Mertens has signed a contract extension with Napoli, which will now take him to 2022, I believe. So yeah, I mean, where does that leave us? First of all, before I get into that, the reason why I wanted Dries Mertens in the squad next season was because he was going to be someone who brings a lot of experience. He's got that sort of veteran figure around him. He can play anywhere up front. He's very versatile. Can play as false nine. Can play as in the wings. Can play as a traditional striker as well. Drops deep. Helps out in midfield as well. Can play in the attacking midfield role. He's even though with his age of being 32, I believe he'll be 33 next season. He still had a game that was quite valuable. He could have provided a lot for Chelsea next season. Much needed, I suppose, mentorship for Tammy as well. And he's someone I felt, being 33 next season, he wasn't going to take over Tammy's spot in the next few seasons, because I still think Tammy is our main man, and the club thinks that as well. And, he truly deserves to have all the minutes. And Dries Mertens is definitely not going to be one of those players that's going to eat up those minutes. And I felt he was going to be quite happy to be a rotational player and player that, still will end up getting a lot of minutes, but ultimately won't, hinder anyone's development, which is quite important to think in the longer scheme of things here. I know it's one of the things that gets looked down upon, or I don't want to talk about someone's hindrance of development. If you're good enough, you start. But it's important in the longer scheme of things to understand this. So all in all, for me, Dries Mertens seemed like a nice package that we could have had next season. But nonetheless, he's got his own personal agenda, I suppose, for being in Napoli. He's very close to reaching the all-time highest scorer for Napoli, I believe. I think he's either in par or just a few goals away from crossing that. But yeah, looks like that's not going to be one of the options that we can rely on next season. So the question now is, what is still available for us, and who are we still linked with, rumoured with, and options that make sense? So let's try and break this down. First of all, in recent times, we've had Aubameyang that's been thrown into the mix of things. For me, initially, I was a little bit opposed to it because I felt someone like Aubameyang he wasn't going to be a rotational player. He was definitely going to be the 100% Chelsea starter, because there is no competition between Tammy and Aubameyang. Aubameyang is simply that much, far, far beyond better than Tammy. And of course, the numbers prove that, and his experience is far too vast for it to be deemed as competition. So initially I thought, well, it doesn't fit into the longer term longer plan of the whole project that Chelsea's trying to do here. So I was kind of opposed that, yes, I do understand that Aubameyang could play alongside Tammy. He could play in the wings as well. But I just thought overall, this would be a short-term thing, and right now we probably don't need. If it is a short-term thing, then we need a player that sort of suits that profile of a short-term need, and not someone who's going to take over all the minutes, leaving some of the players that we need in the long term not getting those development meanwhile. So I thought initially maybe Aubameyang is not the right thing, but now when I'm thinking about it, with Mertens not being available, someone like Aubameyang perhaps could be a good option. As I said, he's lethal up front. He can play several positions up front as well, playing the wings, play up front, could even play together with Tammy, as I mentioned. And he's a goal machine. We all know how much of a goal machine he is. So he's proven striker in the Premier League. And, if he is searching for a particular club to move to in London, if he doesn't want to leave London and he wants to win trophies, this is one thing that I believe, that sort of got him a little bit confused at the moment if he wants to stay or not with Arsenal, is because he wants to win trophies, and Arsenal is a particular team. In recent times, they haven't been really pushing their boundaries to go for trophies. So, and Tottenham, they haven't won anything in recent times either. So, there's only one team in London at the moment, which is Chelsea, that you can realistically win something with. So, it could be an option for him if he doesn't want to leave London and he wants to stay here. Chelsea is definitely a place where if he feels that he can have a shot at winning some silverware. So this particular deal definitely makes sense to me now. But at the same time, I think he's still got a year left in his contract, so he's not going to come cheap. I think it's touted around 30 to 35 million, maybe 40 million pounds. That could be the cost for this particular player. Plus, on top of that, he's one of the highest wage earners in Arsenal, somewhere around 200,000 a week pounds. So that needs to be considered as well in the mix of things, how that would pan out for Chelsea during this pandemic period as well, with so much financial crisis. But nonetheless, I feel this is one that could make sense. The others that's been touted around is Timo Werner. Look, with Timo Werner, even though there's been some strong links and strong rumours, this player has regularly come out now and said, he fancies Klopp, he loves the way they play, loves the way Liverpool plays, and he wouldn't mind coming to the Premier League, but he's looking for, something that the style of Liverpool and the way Klopp plays, and so he's not really hiding his desire to basically say that he wouldn't mind playing for Liverpool and someone like Klopp. So I don't know how feasible that is, for someone like Timo Werner to come to Chelsea when his desire is to play for Liverpool. So once again, I don't completely think his style of play, the way Leipzig plays as well, will match how we play. He loves to sort of play from the wings and drift in and then drift into central areas. We generally play with a lone striker. So I'm not really sure entirely how that would fit in. So for me, I don't know if that completely makes sense or if that's feasible. Next one is Lautaro Martinez. Here's another one that we've been linked with in recent times. But once again, Lautaro Martinez is a player that has made his ambitions well heard, that he wants to go to Barcelona. Barcelona at the moment have said that they don't think that they can manage to do this deal, but I believe in that case they'll wait. Inter's in no hurry to selling him. I'm sure Antonio Conte, he's a major part for his team at the moment, and he's going to be approximately around the 100 to 120 million pounds. So I'm not really sure if Chelsea's going to splash out that much money for a particular player. So for me, this one definitely doesn't make sense. But oh boy, I would love this player playing for Chelsea, because he seems like that Aguero kind of talent for me. Someone who would simply light up the Premier League, and someone who would be a marquee signing for us. And both him and Tammy are quite young, so for me that would be great competition as well. But nonetheless, as I said, I don't think this is quite feasible. Next up is Moussa Dembele. Now, there was strong rumours about Moussa Dembele in January when the transfer ban for us was lifted. But since then, some of these rumours have died down, and now in recent times there's been rumours that he's linked with Man United, and Man United's getting closer and closer to tying this particular striker up. Now, for me, this particular player fits our style. He could play the lone striker role. He's sort of got that, Didier Drogba-esque sort of vibe to him. He's strong up front. He's got strong hold-up play. As I said, he can play by himself. I've seen some of his footage and some of his goals where he's taken on 2 or 3 defenders, and he's been successful. He's got pace. He can dribble. great shooting ability, can shoot outside the box as well, and pretty much can basically play out that lone striker role. So he fits the bill, but I don't know how much the rumours of him coming to Chelsea at the moment is brewing. Lyon is a particular team that will look to offload some of their superstars because they've missed out on Europe altogether. No Champions League, no Europa League next season. As you know, the French league has finished. So yeah, this one can definitely make sense, but the rumours are sort of ending with him. Then I suppose you have a player like Victor Osimhen. There's been some rumours around him in recent times, some links around him. Frank has seen him play a couple of times as well. Frank's a kind of manager, seems like he wants to see players, he wants to see them live before he makes a decision. And Victor Osimhen is a particular player, once again, fits the bill of lone striker role, and he's young, great competition for Tammy. And he would be fantastic. For me, he's so explosive up front, pace, power, great shooting ability. He's been doing really, really well for Lille this season in the French league. So this one definitely makes sense, but once again, the money, and he's got a bit more contract, time left with Lille. So I don't think this one's going to be cheap either. There's been talks about 75 to about 90 mil for this particular player, pounds. So I'm not really sure, once again, how much we're going to splash out for this particular player. So yeah, these are some particular options that's remaining. The last thing is being held for the same sort of striking options that we have right now in the likes of Tammy, Giroud, and Batshuayi. I really don't want to see that. Look, I don't mind seeing Giroud next season. I think Giroud is still someone who has quite a lot of quality. Someone who's been, I've noticed the value of Giroud. I've been proven wrong. I thought he didn't have it anymore, but latter parts of this season, just before the lockdown, he showed his quality and what he can really bring in terms of link-up play, his hold-up, underrated massively. So he can definitely bring something to the team, and he would be a pretty good backup for Tammy, but I don't want to see Batshuayi next season. He's got one more year left in his contract, and I feel this is the right time to sell him. And if we do sell him, we definitely need to, replace him with good quality and give Tammy proper competition if we really want to give him competition. So don't want to be left behind with Batshuayi, Tammy, and Giroud again. And it would be great to replace them. And without Mertens is really starting to make me think, who can we really get? And I'm starting to get worried that we may be ending up with Tammy, Batshuayi, and Giroud. So look, let me know what your thoughts are. What's realistic for us? Who do you think that we could possibly get? In your opinion, that you feel that this is a player that we could get. It may be someone that we've not talked about in this video. So throw in the names and comment. Let's have a healthy discussion. Don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Hit the like button and hit the bell notification. Stay in touch with all my content that I've been coming up with in recent times. See ya.